this is Kaiser. You probably may have seen my sister's video.
Cringe ass name 123 face reveal. Yo, is this cringe ass name 123? Let me find out. Yes.
Videos, but I'm using my sister's account, and in order to use her account, I have to be a friend.
Oh.
Imagine being halfway across the country at 13 years old, alone with only your little sister and a grandparent you barely know.
Hope you like the video.
But what you do know is you just accidentally found a crap load of CP.
Oh.
And the man who holds it, your own grandfather, is your only way home.
Oh. Oh. Oh.
You may have seen some comments in the past calling out my absolute honker ears. Hell, this one's even deformed. But even with my big deformed ears,
Those are definitely big ears.
Better than anything.
Big
Or
ears.
fits wonderfully. Raycon everyday ergonomic earbuds fit like an app.
Hey, W sponsor, but we here for the video.
Apologies for the dramatic intro. I wasn't exactly sure how to start off a video like this. But hey, as I near 1 million subscribers, I figure what better time to make an Oma origin story video than...
Oh wait, this is about him? Oh. Oh, this shit about him. Oh. So if I pull up at the Paw Patrol headquarters, you won't? Nah, for real, bruh. I don't want to smoke with them niggas, bruh. They crazy.
I mean, it's not like there's ever exactly a good time to make a video about your grandfather being a serial predator, but hey, this is probably the closest it'll be to a good time.
Oh.
I grew up never really knowing my dad. He beat the piss out of me pretty badly when I was a baby, so I hear. My mom was actually told that I was never even going to be able to walk, and I would likely be paralyzed. I grew up pretty religiously as well for the first 10 years or so of my life, going to church pretty much almost every Sunday. And you know, God teaches you to love your family. So, when eventually my grandparents reached out to my mom wanting to be in our lives, she was somewhat accepting. Like I said, I never knew my dad and he was never in my life, but
This nigga was making videos since he was a little nigga?
what he had done. Initially, my mom didn't really want anything to do with them, but after a few
Like,
years
yeah, video,
of,
though.
you know, being a struggling single mother, she eventually allowed them to send us things through our church. I was about 6, this went on for probably a few years, and my mom had finally decided that they had won her over enough to allow them to meet us. Us being me and my little sister, who is 1 year younger than me. I met them at Chuck E. Cheese, and honestly, I remember it being a blast. I mean, what
Chuck E.
kid isn't gonna
Cheese.
have fun at Chuck E. Cheese?
Nah, for real,
We
bro.
got to
Chuck E.
know
Cheese was the
them, learn
place
a lot
for
about
real.
them, and we learned that my grandfather was actually a pastor, an active youth pastor at a children's
Oh, he was a
ministry in
pastor?
North Carolina. Of course, my mom liked that and, you know, green flags, so they began to come around more and more. Not much because they lived in North Carolina, but about once or twice a year we would see them. Typically, we'd only really see them if they were, like, in town for some church reasons or occasionally family reasons, but this arrangement went on for about 7 or 8 years until I was 13 and my sister was about 12. I think I was in
Type
8th
shit.
grade at the time, and we had concocted this amazing idea to spend our spring break over in North Carolina with our grandparents. You know, really get to know them. Honestly, overall, it was a pretty dope vacation. We saw mountains, I saw oceans, we ate great food. It was great, all besides for a few red flags that at the time seemed minor, but now, you know, I look at it a little differently. It was mostly minuscule, but there's one instance.
So I heard
in
you work at a
particular that
restaurant?
my mom was particularly concerned about. Even
Is
at
it
the time.
KFC?
There was one
Yeah,
instance
I
where
work at KFC.
mildly like upset my grandfather, and he kind of like just flipped a switch and turned into a whole new human being for a little while. It's kind of scary. Basically, there was this girl that I knew we were going to be meeting for some reason or another. I think she was like a step relative on my grandma's side or something along
You
those
actually
lines.
know,
I'm
nigga.
not sure, but I knew I wasn't related to her, and I knew we were meeting her. And of course, I thought she was cute, so I did what any boy would do at the time with no game. I sent her a Facebook friend request and added her there. I don't know if I thought I would lay on the charm with my
And just with
Instagram
no
posts,
guac
like,
still?
before I met
Get some
her,
cock
but
instead.
I added her for some reason. Anyways, my grandpa,
Okay.
as old people do, took tons of pictures on this trip and posted them
Type
on
shit.
Facebook. However, there was one particularly bad photo of me that he had posted where I just really didn't like the way I looked. It was an unflattering picture of me, to say the least. I could
Nah, I
probably
feel
find
that.
it. But I knew he had this girlfriend.
You had those,
I had her friended, and I didn't want her to
you
see
had
that.
those pictures
I
and
was
shit.
embarrassed. You know, I'm a young boy in a changing body, and a girl that I knew I was meeting and thought was cute could see this ugly picture of me, so I simply asked him to delete it because I was embarrassed by it. I think a reasonable request for an insecure little boy, but not
Yeah,
to him apparently.
makes sense.
He basically just got super pissy
feel that.
about it, going like,
What the
"Fine, I
fuck?
guess I'll."
This nigga just, what the hell? Nigga just grew a whole beard out of nowhere, bro. What the fuck? One Piece time skip. No, God, it's a One Piece time skip ass shit.
Guess I don't need pictures of my own grandchildren. Kind of being a baby about it. But eventually, he got over it, and we went about our vacation up until
I fuck
the
with the
last
Elemental
night
Ceases.
there.
Okay, so it is. Family last night there.
I've been making videos for a long time. Pretty much since I was like 5 years old, I've been trying to create content on the internet. And as such, I've become very familiar with the internet and technology at a young age, including internet culture. You'll see why this is important in a minute. It was our final day in North Carolina, and we had just gotten back to my grandparents' house from the other place we were staying at for a few days. We had our flight back home the next morning pretty early, and we had yet to print our tickets.
I don't
so
know,
my
bruh.
grandfather
You
gave
probably
me his
did.
phone to do so. I did so without issue, and we got our tickets printed to go home. However,
Welcome back,
you know on
Chloe.
phones how you can like swipe up or hit a button and see all of your open apps that are running in the background, and you can
Yeah.
swipe up or down to close them? Well, I've always had a habit of doing that, and so without even thinking, I did so on my grandfather's phone, just out of habit. I was habitually swiping up fast, and so I closed it quick, but I realized I closed an app that had caught my eye in particular, an app that I thought it to be interesting that my grandpa even had on his phone. I'll
Was
give you
it
a few
Kik?
seconds to take a guess as to what app could be so alarming. The app was
Kick. Of course it was
Kick
Kick.
Messenger.
Of course it was Kick. Bro, I'm from the number one Knucklehead Ninja to the 7th Hokage. Wait a second. No God, bro.
If you know anything about Kick Messenger or its history, then I'm sure you'll know why this piqued my interest pretty quickly. See,
Yeah,
even
'cause
being
Kik.
13 at the time, I knew way more than I should have about the internet. So I knew about Kick. Kick for a long time had been, and still unfortunately is to this day, a clusterfuck of an app. Known for
Wait,
being the go-to.
Kick is still a thing? Kick is still a thing, bro? I thought that shit was gone. Kick is still a thing? I thought that ad got deleted, like, completely.
service for child predators.
On Kik, users share messages, photos, and videos. You don't have to be friends to connect. Anyone can contact anyone, anonymously. Kik is one of the most popular apps that works this way. And that's the problem, according to police.
I didn't assume anything at this time, and less alarm bells rang in my head than probably should have, but it was enough to pique my interest, at least a little bit. I mean, come on, maybe Grandpa was in some church group chats. We went about the night as normally as we could, but I decided in my head that when everyone had fell asleep, I was gonna sneak my grandpa's phone and have a look-see as to what he was up to on Kick. Who knows, maybe it really just was a nice church group chat, and it was my cue to find God again.
Fuck, but talking about.
It was not.
Listen.
For about 3 hours, I just sat on my phone,
How about you
waiting
just
for my
go ahead,
opportunity.
listen,
About
listen,
1
Abel,
a.m.,
listen.
everyone had fallen asleep for a little while.
Listen and watch, you
Grandpa
find
had
out.
foolishly left his phone out on the table. He also foolishly didn't have a password on it. I managed to sneakily grab his phone and then lock myself in the bathroom to begin checking it out. I remember seeing his profile first. It was a picture of him in a tie-dye shirt. He went under the name Horny Artist. Needless to say,
Oh.
there were no church group chats, and honestly, there was no real good explanation for why he had Kick. Unless you count having terabytes of CP as a good explanation. I wouldn't. I don't think I need to go into detail with what I saw, but just know I saw pretty much probably the worst stuff that I probably could have seen. I began
Wow.
scrolling through, and there was probably about 50 different individuals my grandfather was trading this nasty stuff with. One of the main people he would converse with on this app was someone named Kat. He had also shared images of my sister with her, as well
Oh.
as pictures of the other step-granddaughter that we had met earlier on this trip. It was
Oh.
all normal pictures, but he just mentioned that we were visiting, and that this other granddaughter would be staying with him for a week later that same summer. Now, honestly, I wasn't really sure what to do, and I mean, I don't think any 13-year-old would. I didn't want to really record what was on his phone because I didn't want to have CP on my own phone and get in trouble. I made sure to memorize his username and diligently studied his conversation with this cat person. Funny enough, this is how I actually knew how to catch predators on Omegle, is because this cat girl at this time told my grandfather that she uses Omegle to find other predators and kids. Anyways, I'd concocted a plan. We ended up leaving the next day and made
This
it home.
nigga really plotted. Honestly, bro, I do this shit, bro. If I find out one of my family members got CP on their phone, bro, I'm not gonna lie. I'm plotting against them too, just like this, bro. This nigga was 13, though. That's what's crazy.
Right when we got back home, I got right to work. When I got back home, I made a fake Kick profile, pretending to be a 26-year-old girl. And yes, my plan was I was basically acting like a fellow predator, 13 years old. I reached out to him telling him I was a friend of this cat girl. And we
That's
got
an
to
interesting
talking.
plot.
Hey, my friend Kit told me about you. Who? Cat? And? Just Cat. Then he immediately sends a penis picture.
Wow.
No words, just straight dick. You married? I asked.
Imagine, nah, ew, hell nah. This is Grandpa, by the way. Hell nah. Nigga said fuck talking straight dick.
By this point, I could gauge he was a sick fuck and enjoyed being a sick fuck, so I knew he probably wouldn't have an issue admitting to this. To be honest, yes.
Let's cut to the chase. That's what I'm saying.
26. I have a boyfriend though. I mean, this right here, my age was really showing. I said that like a 26-year-old wouldn't be married. That's unreasonable. Like, oh no. It's an open relationship. He doesn't care what I do. Does your wife know? Heck no. Better not get caught. Kissing emoji. I want to suck a dick. Try it. Do you have anyone whose dick you can suck?
Bro, imagine this is the I don't even want to imagine it. This is ridiculous.
LOL. Tried mine.
I don't even want to
I'm just
imagine this
short,
shit.
LOL. You could always meet with someone. He sends another picture of his pee-pee. What did
Why?
Kat say? I asked if she knew any hot guys who will
Imagine
send
what?
pics, and she gave me you.
I don't want to put
You
that
done?
image in y'all head, bro. I don't want to put that image in y'all head.
Sent me a picture of him
I feel like it's
holding
better.
his wiener with his face in it. Better yet,
With
it
his
also
face in
said
it.
camera right underneath the image, which on
No
Kit,
man sucking a dick. That's not what I was gonna say. I was just gonna say, imagine if you were in this situation, bro, and it was your, you know what I'm saying? But I don't want to even imagine that because that's crazy. You feel me?
means that was taken alive right then. In that
That's
moment, all
insane,
you were
bro.
texting. Where's your wife? At work. Sneaky. Do you have a friend you can suck off? I think my mindset here was I was just trying to see if you had mentioned anyone that I might have known, or me, or my sister or something. I don't know. Not yet. So I pressed some harder, or sign depending on your relationship. I know some people would do stuff with their
Grandpa's
kids
dead?
or
Oh.
grandkids. And
R.I.P. to
then
Grandpa.
unfortunately, I got the response I was looking for. I would. With who? Granddaughter. Zzz. Oh, how old are they? 12. How often do you see them?
Whoa.
Then his response to that was a picture of my sister just sitting at the beach in her bathing suit. That was a safe for work image. It was like a Facebook image.
This shit is so ridiculous. I can't even nah, bruh. This shit is so ridiculous. I can't even believe this is an actual thing. This is real. I can't believe this is an actual thing. This remind me. This might be worse than SS. Is this worse than SSB 9? I'm pulling a jigsaw or some shit, bro. Torture this motherfucker. Put that nigga in a wood chipper, bro. At this point, I'm pulling up with the YNs and your shit getting shot up. Cause who? That's what I'm saying, bro. He might be worse than SSB 9. What's good, Slim? He might be worse. He might be worse. Let's talk about it.
Sitting at the beach in her bathing suit. That was a safe for work image. It was like a Facebook image you would find on like a mom's Facebook. But obviously it's pretty disturbing to have seen it being sent around that way. I was honestly speechless, so I just responded with I'll send a pic later. He then sent another picture of one of his other step granddaughters, the one that we had met previously on this trip, who was also around our age. Now that I think about it, me and Grandpa were eyeing the same girl, which was not cool, dude. When did you see them last? Bet they taste good too. Spent a week with first pick, second pick coming for a week. And you didn't try anything? And he just responded with, her brother in the pool too. Rubbing your kitty? Yeah, I am. Nah, see. And I guess I just never seen a vagina in my life or knew how they work, or probably even talked to a woman at this point in my life, because for some reason, my response to, yeah, I'm playing with my kitty, can you see? My response was, send a pic when I'm not around people. Who's there? I'm in a car with my friends and mom. I guess the girl I was pretending to be was a freak. I really don't know how he didn't get skeptical at this point, but hey, I wasn't a professional at this time yet, okay? I was 13. He sent another pee-pee picture. You play with cat?
Why is an
Just
old
started this
man
account.
taking so many pictures of his meat, bro? This is an old ass nigga, bruh. Like probably 60 years old. 50, 60 some years old, bruh.
Yesterday, send you one of her sucking me when I see your pics. I love young. Okay, I'll trade. He sent 2 more pee-pee pictures and an image of a girl, clearly not 18. At this point, I just decided to leave our conversation alone, as I had pretty much got all that I felt I needed from him, and he had pretty heavily incriminated himself already at this point. So, naturally, I felt like I had seen enough of Grandpa for the day, and I just left him alone. And before I even went to the police or even told my own mom, I wanted to make people around him aware, so I messaged the mother of the other granddaughter. Excuse me, but do you have a moment to spare? It could involve your daughter. Yes? Now honestly, I didn't think she would take me seriously because I was a literal kid myself at the time, so I lied to her a little bit. I'm an online vigilante who catches pedophiles and stops them before they do anything to harm anyone. Unfortunately, I have hard evidence of Tom Kinsley saying and sending very illegal things. I would keep your daughter away from him as well. And might I say, that message was June 9th of 2017. And what a crazy foreshadow.
Wait, he's
Here I
13
am
while
8 years
all
later.
good this
was
going on? Yeah,
basically
he
my-
was 13, bro. This nigga was my age. What the fuck? I was 13 in 2017. Damn.
destiny, you know? Basically, I created a fake profile pretending to be a 26-year-old girl to get proof of him admitting to things he wants to do to your daughter, his other granddaughter, and other kids.
Damn, he only 20?
And inevitably,
Yeah.
this got the ball rolling. And he then pretty swiftly underwent FBI investigation and was arrested and
He's
charged with indecent liberties with a
was that
minor,
13?
as well as
Yeah.
5
Shit
counts
crazy.
of second-degree
That nigga was
sexual
doing crazy
exploitation
work,
of a
bro.
minor. Unfortunately, he bitched out like the coward we all know these child predators are. And
Yeah,
on
I was
June
14
17th,
when,
2017,
Dilated dropped.
took his own life. in
Actually,
his
no.
jail cell. Hopefully,
I was actually 13 when Dilated dropped. I turned 14 2 weeks after. I turned 2 weeks after, actually.
this gives you all some more insight in regards to why I do what I do and the content style that I make. Views and shit are obviously cool and all, but this style of content has always had a deeper and more personal meaning to me. Thank you guys so much for a
May
minute.
22nd
That's
is my
literally
birthday.
my childhood dream, and I hope you guys continue to support me in the future. We have a lot of crazy videos coming up.
Hey, damn, that video edited very abruptly. Wow.